is a new day. Pull your bridges up and tie your shoelace. Don't worry about them haters, send them bouquets. Get that dough in a few ways. Pack your tears up inside your suitcase. Cause it's a long ass road. Sometimes it's overbearing, feels.
Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Humpday Hustle and I am Alvin Brown. Alright, so in the Humpday Hustle section, what we talk about is ways, methods, strategies we can do to help hack your physiology so you can help your structure, your function, nutrition. How can you use those things naturally to help get you going? I'm a huge believer in using natural methods, something easy, because I find, if you're using machines or, as a therapist for the last 2 decades, when I first got out of school, I started to play around with tools and different modalities, electronic modalities. And I found that I just love to see if I can get the body to be empowered. How can I use the body to hack it, basically, and empower it to heal itself? Because the body does have that inherent power to heal. Just cut yourself, and you'll see within 2 weeks, this thing heals over. Unless you don't struggle with collagen issues, it's completely gone. A smoker, their lung, after they stop smoking, if it's not too bad a damage, that lung can heal again within 5 years. A liver can heal again. It's amazing. Red blood cells regenerate themselves over and over. We can have a whole entire new body once we do everything right. We can regenerate a whole new you within a few years, even if you've abused yourself. So that's how amazing the body is. So I'm always looking at not so much what is this fancy diet, what's the next thing. I'm always looking at, though, what in nature, because I believe we were made perfectly to be in sync and symbiotic with nature. I believe what in nature can we do to help empower your body to heal itself. So coming from I'm a trained manual osteopath. So coming from that realm, I'm going to talk about something that I got turned on to 20 years ago, called Craniosacral Therapy. Now, Craniosacral Therapy is the whole idea. Now, if you Google and dump it into Quack Watch and all these other, you'll always find opposing differences in opinions and things to disprove something. But I'm going to go with you what I experienced for 20 years. I'm going to give you the hands-on, the experiential knowledge that I have, not just theory. This is experiential I did not believe in this therapy either 20 years ago. Because I'm like you, logical, most of you on here logical, and this thing didn't make sense to me. But it was only out of desperation of people coming in and I couldn't get them over the hump that I went and checked this out. And I also had a niece who struggled with cerebral palsy, and I took her to someone and I watched them do the magic, and she responded. Kids don't lie. We may be able to make things up and be convinced, but kids aren't, especially someone with special needs. She responded amazingly, so I thought, let me check it out and let me dive into it, and I did. And at first, again, my logical mind said, this is not going to work. This is just BS, because at the end of the day, I was in the course and seminar, but maybe I was just convinced because I was with the crowd and blah, blah. I made up all these logical left brain excuses. But one day out of frustration, not getting someone better, I applied the technique on that person, and it was amazing. They saw a massive difference. So I started to do it. I started to dive in and really study it. So Craniosacral Therapy, here's the idea and how it means for you. The whole idea is that we have 22 bones in our skull that makes up our skull. 22 different bones. The whole idea is that when those bones come together, and if you look at a skull, you'll see that those bones interdigitate together. They slide into each other like a gear system, and they move. And the whole idea is that when inherently we have another rhythm. We have rhythms all through our body, by the way. If you haven't noticed that, we have a breath, so breathing rhythm, heart rate, we have blood flow, all kinds of lymphatic flow, just a whole series of movements and rhythms. Everything goes in, everything goes out. When you breathe in, you breathe out. There's rhythms constantly. Energy moves in rhythms. Our blood flow moves in rhythms. So this is another rhythm. It's a craniosacral rhythm. They call it craniosacral because you look at the cranium and then you look at the tailbone, because the whole idea is that the dura, this connective tissue that surrounds your brain and your spinal cord, it runs through in the brain inside the skull. And when your skull was being formed, those 22 bones, they came together inside the membrane and then eventually closed up after 5 to 7 years old. They closed up and they created a protective shell for the brain. But when it fused, it doesn't mean that you're inanimate object. Your skull still has it can still get a depression, a hit, and absorb the hit. And those extra bones, when I was driving over a bridge, I noticed that the bridge wasn't one straight bridge. The bridge was a series of pieces, because if over time, if you're going over a single bridge, that bridge will break eventually with all the volume of traffic. But if you have interdigitations, the bridge can take forces. And it's the same as the head. With all the changes that's going on in our potential head injuries, the bone's built to take that trauma and be resilient. Again, everything was made to be for us to survive. So anyways, here's the deal. The brain and spinal cord have a certain beat, a certain rhythm again, another rhythm thing. It beats and it circulates the fluid inside the cranium. The whole idea is that fluid, when it circulates, it pushes on the membranes, and the membranes then pushes on the skull. The whole idea is we put our hands on your head and your tailbone, and we feel for this rhythm. How is this rhythm? And it's not a rhythm you can look and see. It's a rhythm that you build over time through your proprioceptors and your skills. You have so much skills inherent in your body. Over time, everybody develops a skill in whatever it is that you do. Well, we develop the skill to feel this rhythm. And what it is that we feel a rhythm, and I can tell how long you've been depressed by the rhythm. Your physiological state affects the rhythm. Whether you're hyperactive or whether you've been ill, it affects your rhythm. Everything is so interconnected in your body. So here's what I'm saying. Here's how it ties into you and how you can use this information. If you're looking to get to peak performance levels and you're looking to get the most from your body, your body's inherent power to heal itself, inherent power to get all the forces and the power it needs to drive through and to drive you hard, on top of your nutrition and your working out and your breath work and your yoga and your meditation, this is a great addition. You get a therapist who knows how to do craniosacral therapy to assess your rhythms. Assess the rhythm of the cranium and the sacrum, because it tells you a lot about your nervous system. How's your nervous system going to function optimally if the container it's in is restricting it from moving? So that's the whole idea. That therapist will learn to manipulate the various cranial bones inside the mouth, the face, the orbit. Your orbit has 7 bones that makes up your orbit. Your skull. They learn to manipulate and to free up the tensions in the skull and the spinal cord and the nervous system. And here's the thing. This thing affects when your cranium is running right, and when you meet the therapist that can put that therapist as part of your team. The thing about it is that rhythm, that cranial rhythm, also dictates your fight or flight mechanism, because the sympathetic nervous system, the one that gets into fight or flight, comes from your spine, your mid-spine, and then the parasympathetic, the opposing one, yin yang, the opposing one that's rest to digest, and that's where you heal, it comes from the cranium and the sacrum. So balancing that out brings you back into balance. If you've been struggling and putting yourself under stress, like athletes or anyone 9 to 5 stressed out, you've been going through a lot of trauma, it's a great way to balance back your rhythm, to bring you back into homeostasis and balance. And from homeostasis, you can heal, and your body has a chance to do what it does best and keep us alive and survive. All right? There's lots more information on this. I'm going to give you more information on different therapies you can check out to help get yourself to that peak performance level. But that is Craniosacral Therapy, the real short primer version. There's lots to share, and I'll share them over the next little while. But like I said, Wednesdays, Humpday Hustle, it's about getting the best out of your body, optimal health, peak performance, structure, function, nutrition, manual therapy, anything I can give you to help just release the brilliance from this human body of ours. All right, the natural way. Nothing, no fancy equipment, no anything. I just want to do it naturally. All right. So until next time, check out Craniosacral Therapy, because I want you to be relentless about what brings you joy in your pursuit for personal greatness. Peace and love until Saturday, people. Awesome. Check out our website, journeytopersonalgreatness.com, and the Center for Healing and Peakperformance.com. Peace and love.
Up and tie your shoelace. Don't worry about them haters. Send them bouquets. Get that dough in a few ways. Pack your tears up inside your suitcase. Cause it's a long ass road. Sometimes it's overbearing. Feels like complaints cargo. Or just having dreams of job of mercy or law goes. I love them shits, but I don't wanna pay a car note. I puff a little.